What is going on, YouTubers, YouTubettes, and everything in between? This is Jacob with Veteran Pro Wash, and in this video I want to share the best methods that we find most efficient and effective when it comes to preventing the lines or streaks that tend to show up after all the work is done and you think it looks great and you're ready to go home. You go home and you get that call back and they just say, "Man, my driveway looks crazy as hell." Now, there are a whole slew of reasons why this could be happening to you. One, that you're just moving simply too fast whenever you're cleaning the concrete and the surface cleaner isn't completing enough turns to fully clean the area. Two, being that your pressure washer isn't putting out enough gallons per minute for the size surface cleaner that you're running with your pressure washer. Or it could be that you're overlapping previous passes too much and the surface cleaner is cleaning certain areas twice as much as areas that aren't being overlapped. It's hard to say why this issue could be happening to you depending on your particular scenario, because not everyone is running the same equipment or using the same techniques, but there are two solutions that we have found to conquer this problem, and the chances of you being called back on a job will be highly reduced if you're using one of these two methods. Now first, let's get into the chemical method. So after you've completed surface cleaning, applying the sodium hypochlorite to the surface will kill off any remaining algae and growth that is left on the concrete. It will dry without any lines in it. This method is mostly referred to as post-treating. There are a good bit of ways in which you can apply the chemical. You can use a downstream method, X-Jet method, or the way we use and our preferred method and most simple to us is a soft wash system. When you're applying the chemical, you want to ensure that you're keeping it off the concrete and off of any vegetation or grass as much as possible. Now, typically, if you're post-treating, you don't necessarily have to worry about this as much, being that the plants and the grass already got so much water while you were cleaning the concrete with the surface cleaner, and all of that vegetation has soaked up all of that water. It is sometimes still a good idea if you think that you may have gotten a little overspray on the grass or plants. Just hit it with a little bit of water to further ensure that nothing has passed away. Now, whenever you're post-treating a driveway, if you have runoff flowing down the driveway as you're post-treating, then you're most likely applying it too heavy, and at that point, you're just wasting most of it. Post-treating doesn't require a whole lot of chemical. Just use a fan tip and lightly coat the driveway and you should be fine. We typically post-treat with our ratio set to about a 2 to a 3% chemical, depending on the severity of the streaks that are left behind by the surface cleaner, and that also depends on how much growth is on the driveway whenever you start surface cleaning. We like to pre-treat all of the concrete that we clean. It takes that top layer of algae and growth off before you run the surface cleaner over it, so you're able to move a lot faster. Typically, whenever we pre-treat a driveway, we don't have to post-treat it after, being that pre-treating it has already taken that top layer of algae off, so the surface cleaner comes back and gets rid of the rest. Now that we've went over applying chemical to resolve this issue, if you don't have the means to apply chemical after you surface clean, or you don't believe in using this method to post-treat, there's an alternate method, which brings me to the second method, and that method is surface cleaning over the concrete perpendicular or in the opposite direction of the initial cleaning. So this method will be more time consuming due to the fact of basically having to double clean the concrete, but is very effective. And the benefit to this method is it can be a lot cheaper depending on the size of the area that is being cleaned. You don't have to worry about killing any plants or grass, being that it is just water that you're putting on the concrete. And if you don't have the means to apply sodium hypochlorite, such as the downstream injector or some type of system to apply chemical, you don't have to worry about spending the extra money on one of those systems just to have the means of post-treating. Although you are cleaning twice and it takes more time, this method is just as effective as applying chemical. And this is the way that we did it whenever we first started. It was very effective. We got called back to one job one time. We left streaks in their driveway and it was about 45 minutes from the shop. We had to go back out to that job twice, being that we didn't take the time to double clean it and we were just getting started out, so we didn't believe in post-treating. We wanted to save the money up front. So this method helped us out a lot in the beginning. We were able to save money on chemical and we never got called back to another job after that. This is two ways to eliminate the streaking on concrete. One, applying the chemical after you surface clean, and the second being that you surface clean the area a second time, just in the opposite direction of the first cleaning. So if you clean the driveway in a vertical direction the first time, hit it the second time in a horizontal direction. Like I said, we have used both of these methods. Early on, we used more of the double cleaning method to cut down cost on our end, but now we typically stick to post-treating, being that it is much faster and just as effective as double cleaning, or we go ahead and pre-treat the driveway, before we surface clean it, and that saves us a lot of time. And 95% of the time, we don't have to worry about post-treating because we're still moving slow enough with the surface cleaner to keep them streaks from showing up after the concrete dries. Now, with that being said, y'all go try out these methods. Let me know in the comments below which method works best for you. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you have a better way of doing things, we're always ready to try new strategies. Go send us an email. It'll be linked in the description, and we'll answer you back with a video. Until next time, my name is Jacob with Veteran Pro Wash, and as always, y'all stay happy, humble, and money hungry.